Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a very, very special guest. We have the one of my favorite clients and one of the boys. We have KJ Rainey, and some of you guys may know him already. This dude is the GOAT of the copywriting space. But yeah, KJ, real quick, I'll hand it off to you and give me a quick little intro about yourself, man.
What's going on, boys? Nice to be here. Excited to be on the channel. And not long ago, I was just like you watching Christian's videos, and now I'm here on the channel, so that's really awesome. Yes, feels kind of surreal. But no, in case you don't know about me, I've been an entrepreneur for like 3 years and absolutely failed for 2.5 straight, and then finally started focusing on learning some high-value skills and getting great mentorship, and things kind of turned around, went exponential. So very exciting.
Awesome, man. Awesome. How long have you been watching the channel for?
Dude, I would say probably, I don't know, ever since like when your first videos kind of took off, got like that 40K or whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't do SMA, but for some reason I just clicked on it and I was like, man, I really freak with this guy. Like he's just kind of showing funnels and raw stuff, and you weren't really selling any courses. So like I'm gonna rock with this guy, and I watched your stuff for a while.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So I know that you got started in the copywriting space, right?
Yeah.
And when we started working together, we basically launched a new business, right?
Yeah.
And I believe we were just talking about this before the call, but you went from zero to like 11.1.2K a week in like how long? How long was it?
Yeah. I went from zero with the offer to pretty much 11K in 2 weeks, and could have been even crazier, but that was just too much for me to even think about.
Crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And I want to dive really deep in this video. Like I do want to provide a lot of value. And I think one of the best things that I could ask you, KJ, um, because you know those results aren't typical. Like I don't tell people like you start working with me, you're going to be making 11K a week right away. And I guess a lot of people could see that from you and get a false expectation of like how easy it is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just see like the spike in growth overnight, but we both know that that wasn't what it was like for you, right? Can you kind of give a little bit of a backstory in terms of like what you would tell somebody that sees this exponential spike in growth from you, but what they didn't see on the in the background, right?
Yeah. And what you guys need to really understand is that it all comes down to skills. And entrepreneurship is tough because it's not linear. It's like if you don't have every single skill that you need in place for this offer or this model, you're not going to see hardly any progress. But it's like as soon as you have that last brick in the bridge, like Hormozy talks about, where that dollar can finally come across, everything just takes off. And it really helps having mentorship and people to show you what you're missing, because that's the biggest thing to start is like you don't even realize what the actual problem is. You're missing the mindsets. You're missing these skills that you don't even know exist. And it's just a long journey of like figuring those out. But man, when it finally comes together and like you have all the skills in place and you have the right offer, like, oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. That's awesome. And you know, something that I talk to you and like the other guys in the program about a lot is like this what I like to call like the golden road to 100K a month, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people talking about like, oh, you could scale an agency to 100K a month and you could do all these different things. And in my opinion, it doesn't work because I got my agency to about 30K a month and I was literally miserable because I was working so much. I was managing a ton of people. Profits tanked because I had to make all these hires and stuff. And I know that the case is similar to you. This is why I'm bringing this up. I want to dive really deep into this
Yeah.
in terms of the actual transition you made, right? Because you got started in copywriting and you scaled to about like 10, 20K a month in it.
Yeah.
But then you understood that you needed to leverage a better business model after you built those initial skills and were doing a done for you service to hit that next level of growth, like 11K a week, right? And I know that you had some limiting beliefs holding you back from getting into consulting, right? And teaching other people the business model you built. What were the biggest things that had to change for you, especially when we started working together, that allowed you to see the opportunity of like, damn, I should go this route to get to where I want to go, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll touch on a couple of things. I think the first thing I want to mention though for beginners is you can't skip steps. And that's where you see a lot of people saying, oh, these people are really, really scamming online with these courses and all this. It's because they're teaching things that they haven't actually done. And so if you really want to get started in this, like you've got to do something. You've got to master a skill. You've got to get good at a business model. Like you said, like with you at agency, it's like you did it with the agency before you started teaching people. And that's why I think mine had so much success is because people saw my journey. They're like, oh, wow, this dude literally did 10K plus a month with copywriting by himself. And so then they wanted to kind of, learn more. And then the next biggest thing that you really helped unlock for me is, one, understanding that there's people like me who, if they just had my guidance and my roadmap, they would get there in a fraction of the time, because I didn't have anyone. And the courses and programs I bought were a complete waste of money, and they failed me. And so having a program that actually helps people, and you showed me that, hey, you can really help these guys. Like, you feel in this imposter syndrome teaching people, but you've actually done it, and you can show them exactly what you did. That was huge for me. And then realizing that, hey, there's actually guys who really need my help, and they want to pay for it. And I'm doing them a disservice by not having an offer like this.
And I think it's also about like fulfillment, right? Because how do you feel in terms of alignment with your mission and like serving people, right? Because we're both Christian, and we both believe that we need to be serving people. And at least in my agency, it didn't really feel like I was leaving the impact that I wanted to leave. Just working with realtors, it was very transactional, and maybe you felt the same in copy. And I think that there's different problems along like this road to 100K a month, right? Because a lot of the people like watching my stuff, maybe you guys are at 0, maybe you guys are at 10K a month with the agency, but at each stage, there's different problems, right? Like at 0, at 5, at 10K a month, your only goal really is just to make more money. You don't really care about impact and all this stuff. Like you want to go ball out and get that nice apartment, take care of your parents, right? And so that's like the initial problem. But once you get over that hump and you're making the money, you sit down with a cigar and you start reevaluating your life. And I'm like, damn, dude, can I see myself doing this for the next 5 years, right? And the answer is typically no, I think, for a lot of agency guys, because we just kind of fell into the space by like Iman or those types of people. So then the problem now becomes, once you're at that scaled level, is like, how could I align with my mission and the values and the people that I want to serve? And in my opinion, when you go the consulting route, and we were just talking about this, right? You could either go and teach people the same business model that you built, or you could go and consult your current clients if that's where you feel more aligned, right?
Yeah.
So like for me, I had to look internally and decide, hey, would it make more sense to go and consult realtors? Or would it make more sense to go and teach people this model that I'm leveraging to scale, right? And I just went with what I felt aligned with. And I think that that's something that could serve a lot of people. But yeah, dude, I think that that's really inspirational, I guess, just your story. And it's been awesome freaking working with you because you are a crazy, crazy action taker. So I guess, why don't we dive into the trenches of your funnel? Like what you're actually doing right now to crush it, because I know the people want to know, how is this dude making 11K a week with $0 in ad spend, crazy high profit margins? You spend like an hour a week on client acquisition, and your biggest bottleneck right now is that you don't have enough time to serve your clients. You currently, and then tell the people, man, you currently have a wait list of people dying to pay you for $3,000-$4,000. Explain how was this possible, and really just explain to an agency owner, right, that has skills, how they can do the same in your opinion.
Yeah. And I kind of want to touch on a little bit while you just talked about your last point, but it was 10 to 50 times more fulfilling to help these young guys make their first $1,000 online than to help a guy who already has 9 figures make more money. Like, I was helping these clients, I was writing copy for them, but I had someone tell me literally, hey, KJ, don't worry about it. No matter how much we grow this offer, it will not change my financial situation. Like, they're living in mansions, they have millions, they make millions a month. Like, I'm just making rich people richer. But to help actual young guys for the first time make their first grand, one of my guys made like $2,500 in his first 2 weeks of being in the program. Like, dude, that feeling is better than anything else. And leading into what you just asked me about the funnel, we can dive deep in a second, but all from, and I truly believe this, it all stems from my desire to see people's lives completely changed. And the reason why people frick with my stuff so much is because they can feel that. And you can't fake that. You can sit here and be like, oh, and make these videos, but people can tell your intentions. They're really good at that. And so I might only have 2,000 subscribers, but I have 1,000 people on my email list. Like, half the people that watch my channel join all my stuff. It's like the quality of subscriber and viewer that I have is so exponentially higher than everyone else on YouTube, because they're just chasing views while I'm chasing life change. It's like impact over income.
I agree. And real quick, I want to add a point in there. When you're going and building an audience, because most people think you need this huge, insane audience to sell a program. And that's not the case at all. Because when it comes to making content online from a YouTube channel, IG, whatever you're going to do, in my opinion, you could either go deep or you could go wide with the content, with the audience that you're building. People that go wide are the people that have 100,000 subscribers, right? But they're broke. I know a lot of people that like I talk to, a lot of friends, they have a way bigger audience than me, 10 times the audience than me, right? But they decided to go wide with their marketing and not build a true deep connection with their audience. Versus when exactly you are the perfect example, and you watching, you could go check out KJ's channel after this, but you decided to go deep, build a real connection, not just make a video 7 ways to get like, I don't know, to get a client. Like you talk about God, you talk about your values, right? You talk about your story, the whole entire journey, and you go really deep with the audience to connect with them. And that's why you were printing 20, 30K months with an audience of 2,000-3,000 people. It's insane, right? And I think going back to a point that you said before in terms of intention, I completely agree. People could see straight through your BS if you're just trying to come out here and sell a course, or if you have no idea what you're talking about. And that's why if you're like an agency owner watching this and you don't feel like you have like a repeatable process to get other people results and start consulting them, don't get into it, right? Like you need to be really damn good at what you do in order to start teaching people, or they will see straight through it. You will have a weak foundation to your business and you won't scale. And I think real quick, last point that I want to hit on here is that in terms of alignment, I think it's always, to a point you mentioned, the best person to serve is an old version of yourself. And I'm in the same exact place, right? Like generally, who could you provide the most value to? It's a version of you a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right? And I just think that would resonate a lot with the audience at home. But
dude, that's a belief that serves, you got to break, because like it serves so well, because you think, all right, I need to make videos, I need to make traffic like Iman because he's killing it. But you think about, do you watch Iman? Like, do you really get value from his stuff? Are you sitting here checking out his watch collection and thinking, oh, this is so valuable? Or like, oh, I should wear shoes indoors so I feel like I'm working. It's like, dude, no. And so you got to make the content that yourself, like when you were first learning your thing, whenever you're thinking, like we were first learning agency, you're like, man, how to get 30x ROAS, and you're studying Facebook ad campaigns and all this stuff. Like that's the kind of content that's going to attract the people that you really want to work with and the high quality prospects anyway. And so you got to like think, okay, let me not make a video for 1 million people. Let me make it for 100 people who I know is going to change their whole business, their life. And like, that's, bro, you make videos with that mindset, and like, you can't fail over time.
I think one of the biggest levers anybody watching this could pull right now is no matter what business model you're in, you start documenting. Because I believe we both did the same thing. While I was running the agency, I started up the YouTube channel, and I was literally sitting in my pretty crappy office, just recording Loom videos with like the Mac, the camera and mic, and just saying like, here guys, this is like what I'm doing to make like a good amount of money at like 19, 20 years old. Right? And I think you did the same thing, but it's those building blocks. It's that stuff we did in the background that people try to just skip the process and get to where we are now overnight. But it's like we put in the hours without even expecting anything in return at the beginning. And I wish I started even sooner, right? Yeah. Would you say that's one of the biggest levers you pulled, was starting to document, starting to build that audience with no real goal in mind at the beginning, right? Just to provide value.
Yeah, that was it. It's just, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. Here's some free stuff that helped me. Maybe it can help you guys. Like that is the core of every video that I made starting out. And most of them are still like that. You know, I don't even sell in my videos. It's just, hey, go check out my free stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive into the funnel, right? Because, you know, in terms of like my program, I teach a lot of different things. It's really just the acquisition systems. It's not some new shiny business model or any of that stuff. I hate people that just spew that nonsense. But whether you're using paid ads, right? Whether you're doing outreach, whether you're using a YouTube inbound funnel, that's specifically where you saw your success. Strictly organic YouTube videos, and we built out a funnel that way, right? So I guess two-part question here. What would you recommend to somebody that wants to start a channel? Maybe they're at 15K a month with their agency, and they're like, I want to start consulting people, I want to start a channel, I want to build an audience, and I want to convert them. Because I know we went through the process of building your offer while keeping goodwill with your audience, and that was something that we had to be very careful with. So what would you recommend to that person that's in a similar spot to where you were when we first got started?
I would say two things that if you do, you cannot fail. And the first is that you have to understand your target customer, and it has to align through the whole funnel. Like your YouTube videos have to be targeted to the exact person who you can help with your offer. That way you're going to attract the actual people who, one, they get value from your videos, and two, the next logical step is your deeper offer, how you can help them with one-on-one or, group coaching, all that. And the next thing is, I don't forgot it. I think that's so excited on the direction.
Yeah, you were going in, dude.
Oh yeah, second thing is, I remember now. So like first thing is alignment with your whole funnel. Like your videos are perfectly targeted to the people who you want your offer to be in front of. The second thing is to puke free value. Like puke it. You need to give so much value away that they feel guilty watching your stuff. It's like the next logical step is to give you money, because like, wow, if he gave me this for free, like, what is his paycheck going to be? And that sounds very cliche. A lot of people say that. Most people's free value is absolute dog. Like, I could crap free value better than there's free value. Like, I'm serious. You have to go above and beyond. Like, don't even sleep until your people are getting money from your free stuff. Like, my free Discord makes people $1,000 a month who've never learned anything. Like, that's the level your free stuff is on. And if it's not, like, good luck competing with other people like me who are doing that.
Simple, dude. Cutthroat, bro. It's so damn true. I think everybody running a business right now should be creating content. Like, I think that's obviously where everything's moving, because a few years ago, everybody would just create a Facebook ad, landing page, book a call funnel, right? And that's because a lot of the offers out there were extremely new opportunities.
Yeah.
Right? Think like Sam Ovens when he came out with a funnel to get, 40 clients in 60 days, whatever it was. It's like that was new and shiny. If you went and tried to do that right now, you'd get absolutely demolished, right? And that's why most people running like VSL funnels, they have to come up with like the most wild claims or some new secret growth operating IPGA, whatever business models. And so I say all of that because I think that we are now in a place where service providers, consultants, coaches, course creators are in such a red ocean. There is definitely 100%, everybody watching this right now, there's people out there that have your same exact offer to a T, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do you stand out? How do you stand out when there's so many people fighting for your exact same leads and your exact same clients? Again, like you said, I think it comes down to the free stuff. I think it comes down to building a connection with people and just getting them to believe the claims that you're saying, right? And that's why I think that just, how a lot of people are telling you, which is just rip cold DMs and then just immediately book a call, or go from cold calling just to a sales call. And there's no value in between. And even how you got your results in copywriting was with free value, right? So what would you say to those like bro scalers that are like, dude, I just got to do 1,000 cold DMs. I just got to freaking spend 10 grand on ads.
If you're in my space, keep doing it. I encourage you, because you're making me money. And like, go ahead. If you're in my space, bro, I encourage you to keep doing that. You're killing it. But if you're in any other space, you're serious about this, you need to understand the principles, right? And that is that sales is a transference of belief over a bridge of trust. So if you're in a red market, the trust is demolished already. People have trotted on them. They've given them bad coaching, bad courses. Like, the trust is so low. So how do you combat that? How do you like actually make a ton of money with your offer? I was like, well, you have to build that trust back. And how do you do that? Was by sharing your story, genuine, and then giving free value. And it's like, bro, that's why I hop on a sales call and they're just asking me when they can send the money. It's like, it's not even a sales call. There's no sales.
They're not sales calls, bro.
Yeah, they're not sales calls at all. And but that comes from like actually mastering those two things, like showing people you're real vulnerable. Like one of my videos, I legitimately cried last week. Embarrassing, but I was like, I'm gonna post it anyway. So that's real, bro. Like that's kind of another level. And then it's like my goal with my free Discord or whatever the course, whatever it turns into, my free stuff is to be 10 times better than all my competitors' paid course. Like, that is the standard I set for myself. And like, if you go in like that, the trust that you have is going to be phenomenal, because they're going to see people like getting results from free stuff. And I even tell people, like, don't buy my paid stuff. I tell them not to buy it. And that level of trust is crazy.
And that's why people buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why people buy it, because if you're out here begging people to buy your stuff, you're gonna repel people like damn mosquito repellent, dude. It's crazy. And you see a lot of these people crushing it right now, doing YouTube organic and that type of stuff, selling coaching and courses. A lot of people's angles right now, and I'm talking about like some of the big guys that we definitely know, it's from a place where they don't really care if you buy their stuff. And they'll say that in the videos. Like, oh, I've made enough money. I don't want you to buy my stuff, right? And that gets people to buy. I think that's so important for people to understand. Like, the more desperate you come off, nobody's gonna buy your stuff, right? Now, real quick, I want to pivot. I want to go back in time with you, right?
Okay.
Because I think the other day you told me that like your whole life you've been kind of just waiting for the moment where you could start charging like $1,000 an hour for your time, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
take me back to like just the origin of KJ, like where you came from, dude, and yeah, the rise.
Oh, dude, I grew up in a amazing house, but very bad beliefs around money. Wasn't their fault. We just grew up I was in a small town in Alabama, and no one had money. I didn't know a single like millionaire. I didn't even know millionaires were actually a real thing. And we just grew up in a small farm town. And but I always wanted to do something more. Like, I wanted to build. I wanted to create something just phenomenal. And I knew that wasn't possible doing a 9 to 5, really. And so when I graduated college, I had a marketing degree. Don't go to school if you want to make money, kids. And I was like, this is worthless. I'm not going to get a degree in marketing because this is old and trash. And so what am I going to do? So I just started reading the books, started watching the videos. And then I remember sitting in my car before going into my part-time job at a church. And I got there early so I could listen to Naval Ravikant, the like How to Get Rich Without Luck podcast. And so I'm listening to it. I listen to it like 3 times a week, bro, just over and over again. Like, this is real. This is real. And I'm sitting there listening to it, and he starts talking about how if your hour is not worth $1,000 to you, like if you don't set that right now, it'll never be that much. And so I thought, dang, okay. And so I remember going into my job, and we had some downtime. And so I was like working on like a Notion, trying to come up with a plan, business plan, whatever. And my boss came in and he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why don't you go do this? No, my hour needs to be worth $1,000. He just freaking laughed, bro. He laughed. And literally I went, like next week I went and bought a flip phone. Still got it. Because my hour is worth $1,000. And it's about to be 10,000. So y'all get ready for that. So like, I do not freak around. It's like every single minute that I do, like I run through it sounds stupid, it's Iman level strat, but like I run through the grocery store if it's in the middle of the day, because I have stuff to be doing, and I know that my hour is worth 1,000. And then literally, I mean, last week I sat there and thought, wow, I just wrote this stuff and made $1,000. Like, I literally wrote 4 emails, and I got paid $1,500 for them, and I did it in an hour. Like, actually, I have a video of me doing it live. I made $1,500 live in an hour. I recorded the whole hour, just uploaded it, just to break people's beliefs. And I was like, this is crazy. My hour is much over 1,000. Yeah, I don't know if that is exactly what you wanted, but yeah, that's kind of this journey is.
That's so good, dude. And I think what could serve the audience more than anything else is to talk about your level of discipline. Because I don't care what tactic you're using, I don't care what funnel you're running or what new business model you're trying. The sole reason that you got the level of success that you have working with me so fast was because you took insane action on literally everything that I broke down. It was crazy. Like, I've never seen it before. How disciplined you are, right? Talk about that, because we struggle with it. Like, I struggle with it sometimes, right? You know, people jumping on TikTok, people just consuming content all day and just eating junk food, falling into bad habits and like wasting their life away. Like, seriously, try to hit home in terms of like how you built this discipline, because you have a damn flip phone. Let me see that again.
Bro, it's the Let me tell you, $35 from Walmart. It'd be the best $35 you ever spend in your life to get a flip phone.
Talk to us about discipline, bro. Talk to us about how you've built this.
Yeah, I'll go into some tactics in a second, but just to be 100% real with y'all, like, it all comes from my faith in God. And that sounds like, what? How does that have discipline? But I mean, the Bible tells us in 2 Timothy 1:7, it's like the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, gives us power, love, self-discipline. It's like my business is built on those things, power, love, and self-discipline. Like I genuinely love my people that I'm serving. Like I'm serving them like, I mean, I barely sleep unless my people are getting results because I'm like, I got to do more. I got to make more courses, do whatever. But as far as like building self-discipline, I mean, it takes years. Like some people, they can just, their back is against the wall so hard that they have no choice but to either like do 12-hour days or drown. And like, that's a good way to do it. But not everybody has that kind of situation. And if you don't, you've got to just like start small and work your way up. It's kind of like in the gym. If you are just a brain dead TikTok scroller right now and you don't have 1 hour of deep focus per day, you cannot do 10 plus hours. Like it's physically impossible for you. It's like if you were going in the gym and say, all right, I'm just going to crank 315 today. Like I'm feeling it, bro. I'm about to crush today. Like you're dead. But if you're working out for like 4 or 5 years, you're doing all the, eating the right macros, all this, you could hit that level. And it's crazy. And so for me, it's been over time just trying to think, all right, let me get an hour of work in today. I'll track my hours. Because if you don't track it, how are you going to improve it? Like I tracked my hours for all of 2022. I can show you how many hours of deep work I had every weekday. That's insane. But I slowly improved it because I'm like, I only got 4 today. All right, I'm going to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. Like crazy amount. And then also it comes back to life's a game, right? And you've got to have some sort of purpose. You have some sort of mission. If you don't have a mission, you'll distract yourself with pointless pleasure. That's just how it happens. And so like, even if it's a trivial thing, think about video games. You play video games for 6 hours a day right now. And just because like someone told you to do this goal, like get 100 headshots, that was a simple mission that someone made and you're doing it. So you got to these missions and then track your progress on the way there so you can see you getting closer every day. And you've got to remove distractions. And it's like, once you have that purpose, you got to say, all right, is this worth sacrificing TikTok and YouTube and Tinder and all of this? Like, if it is, then it's got to go. Because here's the thing. You either sacrifice the present for the future or you sacrifice the future for the present. Simple as that. And so like the more that you sacrifice the present every single day and everything you do, bro, the better the future is going to be. Because like I sacrifice making $100K a month right now to make a product that's going to be able to do $1 million a month. It's like if I scaled to 100K, got all these people in, and I don't have the infrastructure, the product's not good enough, like, yeah, I'll make 100K, and that sounds dope, and I can spam on YouTube making 100K a month, raw reality, and you get 100,000 views. But it's like, what good is that, bro? People are going to hate your product in a year from now.
And you'll be out of the industry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're trying to get wealthy, man. We're not trying to get rich. And people that get rich do it for 1 year, and then they never see that type of money again. But people that get wealthy get their clients amazing results. Word of mouth brings them a ton of business, and they make money for year over year. And I have a couple of points based on what you just said. That was really, really good. In terms of having a mission, I like to call it like a North Star, right?
Yeah.
So you need to set out, and I know we talked about this the other day, right? Like sit down with a cigar and really figure out what is your North Star. Because if you've just been listening to like a guru and he's built your business and you have the exact same business that he built, maybe it's not aligned with where he wants to go. An example that I made was like following Hormozi to a T, right? And it's like he's trying to be the top 0.0000001% of people making money, like a billionaire. And I'm like, I don't want to be a billionaire.
Yeah, the billionaire.
Live a good life and serve people, right? And so my business wasn't aligned with the mission, right? Like my agency specifically, I just followed other people, and over time, it like eats at you that you're not in the right vehicle. You're not where you're supposed to be, and your body will tell you. You'll wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats. You won't be able to sleep. It's like, dude, you are not doing the right thing right now. And So that's in terms of the North Star. I think a little transition from distractions. In terms of distractions, I think the fact that you have such good discipline and delayed gratification, you built that muscle, that's what's allowing you to build the back end, to
Yeah.
build the product, because that's the boring shit people don't want to do.
Yeah.
And that's why people are stuck. And I made the same mistake in my agency. All I was worried about was front end. Because I was a TikTok doom scroller. I was like super addicted to dopamine. So I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna wake up, I'm gonna send a ton of outreach, I'm gonna get sales calls and just freaking chug Red Bull nicotine and like just get on with it, right?
We haven't.
And just make it happen. And so I did that, and then the back end broke. I wasn't getting my clients the results that I should have been getting, and it came crumbling apart.
Mhm.
And I've really analyzed that going into this new business, right? Spartan scaling, and making sure that, dude, I need to build the best product out there. And in order to do that, I need to become the person worthy of building the best product in my industry.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Which is what you're doing, which is really impactful, dude. Um,
I can tell you the secret of why I'm destroying my competition right now and they can't compete. And I say destroying because I'm judging off an entirely different metric. And that is my point here. Like these other guys in the copywriting space, they're judging everything they do by how many Ks they make per month. That is the worst metric you could judge by in like, as far as like less than a 10-year span, right? Because my metric is how many of my clients see a 100% ROI on this program. That's all I care about. Like, I don't even care how much money I'm making, as long as I can pay the bills. So like, I want you to like imagine them trying to compete with my program. Like, oh, how much money can we make? Versus, oh, how many of my students see a 100% ROI in the time frame that I promised them? Like, who do you think is gonna win, bro? If we're judging by that metric, like they're playing a whole different game. It's like the scammy, let me see how many people I can get here, sales, never improve the product. Versus me, it's like, how many of my students come away with this, with their whole life changed, and they make all their money back?
you will win. It's
Yeah,
that simple, and people don't understand that. Like,
no.
it's crazy, dude, and it's so important, and people don't talk about that enough. Is that back end? I guess something I want to hear from you, dude. Give me like, because I know you have some hot takes. Give me like your craziest hot take on just like business, personal life. Like, give me something controversial, something I could just put at the beginning of this YouTube video, and people are like, "What the hell is this video about?"
Oh,
You
dude,
got
I don't know.
something,
I
dude?
wish I had a really good one. I would say politics is a soap opera. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite hot take. Bro, like if you genuinely, if you were watching the news, you're an absolute bot. Like honestly, bro, these people, you're watching old men argue on a television, and I'll be straight up with you. They don't give a frick about you. They really don't at all. All they care about is which side of the paper you check the box in. And they can never save you. Like the $2,000 they're gonna give you, that's not gonna save you. All these laws are gonna change, not gonna save you. The only person who's gonna save you is yourself. And so if you don't stop watching that garbage, stop watching all the stupid YouTube videos on 5 millionaire tips, and actually like serve someone, you're not gonna make it, dude.
And build skills, bro. That's the foundation. But yeah, dude, I guess just to kind of wrap up here, what would you tell somebody that's like on the fence or thinking about working with me one-on-one? What was your experience like in like group programs versus a one-on-one setting? And we could just kind of dive into that.
I would say do not be fooled by all of the other gurus in the SMA space. Like just because they all are in SMA does not mean they're all the Iman Godsees, the other kind of people who don't care. Like Christian cares about your results. The dude chasing with me. He makes sure I schedule my one-on-one. He's like, dude, schedule your one-on-one. Like he's on track. And if you do business and you connect with people who genuinely care, you're gonna go a long way. And like somebody like Christian is who you want to have in your corner for the long run.
Appreciate that, dude.
Yeah.
And I think that in terms of the community that I'm trying to build, I want to make sure that it's like killers in there, right? And so you're a freaking killer in there, dude. And it's funny because like end goal, like mission here is such a valuable, tight-knit community where everybody's just providing values to each other. And we're seeing like little hints of that, but of course we're still at the beginning stages. But it's so crazy to see like how much you truly want to serve people because you even serve people in the community. It's so crazy, dude. Like your intentions are so clear. Um, but yeah, I know you've been in some group programs before, right? And
Oh yeah.
some people chasing the K's. Can you explain that a little bit and like what's your experience like there? Because I personally I've spent close to $50,000 on like coaching courses, mentorships, because I haven't been in this game for 5 years, right? I've been really since I started the agency for about 2 years. But because of all the money I've spent to learn from people ahead, I feel like I have like a decade's worth of knowledge, right? So I have also been burned by like the 2 out of 10 courses, right? That you told me about, like the ones that are just a complete waste of money, right? And on the flip side, I've invested into mentors, one-on-one mentors that just completely changed my life. Just gave me the clarity and the direction I needed to follow to hit my goals. What was your experience like with paying for stuff before? And what have you found to be like the most valuable for you?
Yeah. I mean, I would say that the biggest things holding you back right now, if you're watching this video, and I mean this, are your skills, your beliefs, and your network. And the biggest ones of each one of those is the things that you don't even know exist yet, which is why you have to have a mentor. You have to have a coach, someone who can look at your situation and be like, dude, it's not any of that. It's actually this. This is the problem. Like, that's what Christian did for me. And then boom, 11K in 2 weeks. Like, his words literally it's made me like 40 grand already. Like, it's just crazy. All because I had everything, but I lacked the right belief and the right network, the right skills. And that's so important. And like, you might figure it out on your own, but it's going to take a long time. And so it's really worth speeding up the process by having someone that you can trust. And like Christian was just talking about, one of the things I'd like to tell people is the problem with online courses right now is that 5 out of 10 are an absolute scam / waste of money. 3 out of 10 are like, all right, that was kind of worth it. And 2 out of 10 will change your life forever. The problem is that people buy the 1 out of 5 first and they give up on online courses, say they're a scam, and then quit. But you have to make it through the trash to get to those 2 out of 10. I can guarantee you that Christian is one of those 2 out of 10.
Appreciate that, bro.
Sir.
And on that note, if you want my one-on-one help scaling, click the link down below. Check out the But yeah, dude, where can people find your stuff, by the way? Maybe someone looking to get started with copywriting, build some skills.
I'm about to say KJ Rainey on YouTube. Or no, it's actually KJ Plays Life on YouTube. My name is KJ Rainey. And join the free Discord. There's literally $30,000 of free copywriting stuff. Don't buy my coaching if you're a beginner. Like, just go get good. Then if you want to work later, if I make you money, then we can work. But like, just go learn copywriting. It's probably the most valuable skill of the next century, I would say. So
yeah, and if you're looking to work with KJ, just understand that you're early, because this dude's about to absolutely take over the copywriting space. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you jumping on with me, brother. And for everybody that's still watching, I appreciate your time and attention, and hopefully you got some value out of this. But yeah, got any last words or?
Yeah, I would just say, like, money is cool and all, but when you hit 10K a month, and if you guys are still watching this, you probably will. It's a matter of time. Like, you got to have something deeper. And if you've not thought about like why we're here, why we're on this earth, then I would give some serious thought to it and look into the Bible. And because God loves you and he created you for a reason. And I'm sure you can feel that inside of you. Like, you're just not here to just exist and then die. Like, there's a reason we're here. So give the Bible a chance. And yeah, you just never know.
I don't talk about the Bible enough, and I don't spread the word enough through my marketing and my channel and stuff. But I truly think that you could have all the money in the world. You could be at 10K, 100K a month, and maybe that's what you've put on a pedestal, right? And you're like, once I hit that, my life will change. And I'm telling you from experience, going from 0 2 years ago to my first 10K month, to my first 30K month, and now soon my first 40K month. Nothing changes at each stage. Life doesn't get better. How do you feel any different now at 11K a week than when you did like 10K a month? Not much. Not much at all, right? And so I think that without God in the picture, you'll always feel some sort of a pit. And at least that's the best way for me to explain it in my situation, is there's something missing. There's a void that has to get filled, and some people choose alcohol, drugs, and the whole 9 yards. But I truly believe that God is a part of that piece. But I know we got some Zoom calls now, so I'll let you go,
Yeah.
brother. But I appreciate you hopping on the channel and coming back when you're at that 100K month, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you, dog, and I love working with you. So hopefully get some more killers in the group. I want to see some more fresh blood.
For sure, for sure. All right, guys. Well, take a look at the next YouTube video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.